my name is Florian, also known as Venom. As you know, material is very important in the game of pool, so today is going to be all about pool cues. So you're going to find about 1 million different cues in a pool store. There's a little bit of everything for every budget, but in my opinion, there's really just 3 categories that are worth it to talk about. So you got professional cues, intermediate level cues, and a house cue. House cue is about the lowest price point you can get. It's usually a one-piece cue. It's got nothing special, just hardwood, no fancy inlays or anything like that. But it's got, a cue, a shaft, a tip, and a ferrule. So usually they're about as good as they get. That's what you're gonna get in a pool hole. This one is $29.95, so $30. It's a really cheap cue. And most of the time you're not gonna buy that for your house, but you're gonna find that in a pool hole. Now, if you want to get a little bit more serious about your game, you can go ahead and then try to go to the store and pick a intermediate level cue type thing. So this here is it's about $60, $56 here. It's got nothing fancy, the butt is just a normal thing, there's no inlays, just paint. It is a 2-piece cue, so you can actually bring it in a case. It's got a metal joint, looks pretty solid. That shaft is probably just hard maple, which is fine, it's great. There's a nice ferrule here. A nice tip, actually multi-layer tip too. These kind of cues, they're great. If you don't put too much English, it means not too much left, too much right, or low and high. If you play a little bit center ball and take good care of it, that should, last you pretty good too. It's something to start with. That's what I started with, and it plays good enough for if you don't play with extreme spins. Now, if you really want to put your game to the next level, if you feel like it, you're gonna go and buy a professional cue. So I have here mine, so that's a Mez Ace cue. It's got a low deflection hybrid Pro 2 shaft. It's a $1,500 cue, so it's not exactly the same, so it takes a little, it's a big gap from, $60 to $1,500. But really, you can find the same kind of cues, and what I really want you to look at is that low deflection thing. So for a good professional cue, the most important part is the shaft. So you just want the shaft that's good. The butt is alright, it's just something you're gonna like. It's something that's gonna look pretty, or the material gonna be fancy, or you're gonna find some, really crazy inlays, or you can find a cue from, professional cue from like $300 to $100,000. Doesn't mean that the $100,000 cue is gonna make you play better, but it's gonna probably look great. So again, make sure you look at the shaft and it says low deflection. Now, before we go any further, I want to explain you what low deflection is, because it's a very standard term now and some people don't really know what is exactly about it. So what happened is I have 3 different cues here. So I have my own cues here, that's a really low deflection. I have the intermediate level cue right here. And I have this cue here when I had a special shaft made with very high deflection. So you can visualize better what's happening. Deflection only occurs when you hit left or right English. That means if you hit center ball, it does not matter if your cue is low deflection or not, it won't change the way the cue ball reacts. Now I'm gonna go and hit extreme left on the cue ball. And I'm gonna aim right for the center diamond here, okay? So you can see it. I'm gonna go right here, extreme left, aim for the diamond. Boom. Now you see when the cue ball went? It went somewhere there. That means that even aiming straight to the diamond, my cue pushed through the ball, and because it pushed on the left side of the ball, it pushed the ball to the right there. So like I said, this is a really high deflection cue. So this was made for you to visualize better. And you can see it moved the ball like this. That means if basically you're trying to aim for a ball that's right here, to touch that ball, you would have to aim right there, which is crazy. Okay, so this is an intermediate level cue, so it's gonna have quite some deflection too, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna aim right here, a lot of left spin. See what it does. It's not too bad, see? It went somewhere right here. If I had a ball right here, I would still probably miss it, but not as much. There, so you can see really like this one hits pretty much on the diamond with a lot of spin. So basically low deflection means even when you put spin left or right, you can hit a more natural point of contact on your cue ball. That means, if your natural point of contact is here, with a low deflection, it'll be almost the same. Meanwhile, with a really high deflection cue, it would be here or here. It could be very different depending on what spin you put. And that's why low deflection cues is so important, because once you start playing really good and you put a lot of English on your shots, you can actually start to make balls a lot easier and a lot better with low deflection than we had with high deflection. Now remember, cue is, especially an expensive cue like that, it's an investment. It's not just the one thing you buy and you use and you're done with it. Now this cue here is almost 10 years old already, and you can see it's in prime shape. I mean, it's got nothing wrong with it. It's an investment, it'll last you for decades. A good cue is going to be part of your life, and if you play a lot, it's going to be basically the extension of your arm. So kind of like you want to have a nice car if you're a car racer, well, this is kind of the same thing. And when you think about it, for something that lasts you 10, 15 years, this is not too bad. So again, it depends of your investment, it depends on your wallet, I guess, and how deep you want to go. Make sure you pick the right cue for yourself. And if you go to professional cue, make sure it says low deflection and it's a good low deflection cue. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these advices. Remember, if you want to see more tutorials, go click here on my channel. You'll find a few more. And to order all your pool and billiard supply, just go check out pooldog.com.